Hi guys, it's Masterath here, and welcome once again to a Footbattle video, the review of Season 6 of Footbattle. So, as you can tell from the title, it's been a, well, pretty good season for us. Very good season for us. Our best season to date, in my opinion. But let's go through some of the things that were added into the game with this. So, first off, you can now change the emblem of your team and change the name of your team. So, I did mention this in my Season 1 preview, that I wasn't really happy with the name of my team, and I instantly regretted it about 30 minutes later. I guess that's not instant, but it's close. So, I have finally been able to change the name of my team, so let's get this thumbnail changed with a click of the fingers. There we go. So, yes, we are now Masterath Town. Yes, this is the new name for the team. This is the team that we are going with right now. Another thing is that it's had a graphic overhaul, which, well, it's a bit buggy. It's a bit annoying. Some people like it, some people hate it, but the devs have been good enough to allow you to play on the old system instead, if you feel like it. But yeah, it looks quite nice, mostly, but we'll get into a certain bit in just a little bit. But yeah, was there anything else? I don't believe so. Really, it was just the graphic overhaul and that's really the only thing. So, yeah, let's go into the game. So, here's the slight graphical glitch here, but oh well, I have no fixtures left, obviously. Yep, so this doesn't look so good, but the rest of it's got like an animated background and everything. It's nice. So, yeah, my Footbattle points are a bit low, but it's fine. It is fine. Look at that team now. The overall's looking pretty good. 1571. My fans, 182 million. Pretty good, pretty good. We were, I think our high point was about 230 million, but we'll get into why that dropped later on. So, let's first look at the squads. So, I've got a couple of different squads here. Obviously, we got down to the 5th string side, but we are getting stronger now with these. So, I'm not going to make a 6th string side or anything like that, and the reason is because by the time all these squads have played a match, so let's say I go first team first, then reserves, 3rd string, 4th string, 5th string. By the time the 5th string side has finished their game, the first team side will have full... will have their energy back to full again, so we can just repeat the process. And my strategy from last... season that I mentioned, has been working pretty well. So it's allowed me to get Footbattle points a lot more regularly than it was before, so that's all really, really good. So, here is my current first team, but this will not be the first team that I'm going to be going in with for next season, with any luck, because I've been able to buy 2 legend players. No, 4 actually, since the last time round. So, the new legend players are... so, this guy, Roden Litwin. I ended up buying this guy in the end. We also have a defender as well, Eric Contrarius. And a left back, my most recent player, Jordan Stark. And last but not least, I've got a left midfielder because he's an English patriot. How could I not buy Michael Giles? So this season has sort of opened my eyes to what was at one point my favorite trait in the game, which is pragmatist. You know, this lovely one, plus 10% morale against smaller opponents. It's not infallible. So, yeah, and it did cost me a couple of matches in Footbattle this season. So, I have been focusing on getting players that don't have that, but instead have sort of like traits that aren't necessarily negative, or could have a negative impact. But yeah, so I got a Patriot now, which means I'm stuck in England. So, I'm going to stay in England for the future, and... my next player I'm going to buy will either be a striker, a right midfielder, or a goalkeeper. I'm going to get rid of the centre defensive midfielder. But this is going to be the formation that I'm going to go with, but with the centre defensive mid over here as a right midfielder instead. That's going to be the formation I'm going for. So it's what's a 4-2-2-1-1. But that's what I'm going to be going for, and we'll see. Hopefully, if it's going to work pretty well. But yeah, this is the new overhaul and everything. It looks quite nice, and the market's looking pretty okay at the moment. We still got a couple of players on the markets for people to buy. Is there any that I would be interested in? No. I just recently actually bought my my left back. Oop! I banged my keyboard there as well. Lovely. But yeah, so all looking well with the team, and we're looking ready to train up for next season. So speaking of the season, how well did we do? Well, let's have a look at our stats here, pretty much for this month. So we played 3,537 matches so far. We still have a day or so to go. I'm recording this right after the league is finished, and pretty much the entire season's finished for us. We've lost only 15 games this season, which is pretty good going, in my opinion. We let in 227 goals. We scored over 17,000 goals, which is pretty good, I'd say. But yeah, we only lost 15 games, so let's go into the season and see how well we did. So, obviously, we've got all 4 of these cups here that we know all these cups by now. And I'd say 3 of these cups we did really well in. One of them we didn't do so well in, but we'll get into which one that is later on. First off, the National League. And what happened in the National League? The new champions of the England A-League. Finally, we've done. It's a month late because we were still robbed from last month, but we have finally been able to win the England A-League. It's taken us long enough, but we finally won the England A-League. And on an honest note, it started so badly for us this season. I mean, I think we drew our first match against Roxification, and then we had Hardcore away third in our third match and lost that as well. So we went on, and this is running into next season. We are currently on a 47-game unbeaten run. 47 games. And I'd say that a lot of the reason why we did so well is because our defense is probably one of the best in the league, if not in the game. We only let in 11 goals altogether, which is pretty bloody good. And 2 of them were against Frome in my penultimate match of the season, which we went on to win 4-2. But that was the match that pretty much we needed just one more win. We needed one win, and that's it. If we had got that win, we'd have won the title. We were 4 ahead with 2 games to go. Just a win would have secured it. We went on to win our last 2 matches, which is pretty good because they were against 2 really, really good teams. But yeah, we're finally the champions after all this time and all the heartbreak from last season. But we're finally the champions, and that's really good for us. And probably the most important match of this whole season, well, the league at least, was our second matchup with Hardcore when we played at home. And what happened pretty much was we were on a very similar amount of fans at that point, and myself and Hardcore had the same idea, which was play quick matches. If you win the quick match, then you obviously get a fair amount of fans, especially at the level that me and Hardcore are at this point. But you get loads of fans, and then you go above the other team. I mean, we both have pretty pragmatist-based teams. And it got to the point, I think it was about 10 minutes before my match with Hardcore started. And I thought, right, it's do or die time. Let's do a quick match. I think they're about a million and a half, something like that, ahead of us when it came to fans. And we needed to get above Hardcore when it comes to fans, because then that would have given us the biggest advantage. And what happened is we won our quick match, and went above them in fans. But here's the thing. This is the closest that I think the game's got to actually a strategic move. Which was, I did it 10 minutes before the match started. So a match usually lasts about 6 minutes in Footbattle. So by the time Hardcore would have seen that we had won a quick match and went above them, they would not have had any time to go above us, because it had been a 6-minute match, and there was only 4 minutes left before we was to battle. So that was strategic on my part, but it's something that we had to do to win it. So a little bit of a game of chess there between myself and Hardcore. So really happy with this result. Those Footbattle points came in, well, they were really good. And yeah, we went on to win it. Finally, after all this time. Excuse me, guys. I am currently suffering from a cold, so apologies. But yeah, so for example, I think 2 teams have changed their names in the England League. Obviously, one has been us, and the other one has been Crypto Dad, formerly FC Sedu. But yeah, that was all good, and you know, we didn't draw to pro animals, which was good. It was exactly what I wanted from last season, that I mentioned in my review of Season 5, which was, you know, either a team runs away with it, or it's a close, like, down to the wire, and this was down to the wire. I'm really happy with how the team had performed this season when it comes to the league. This is a great moment. We only let in 11 goals. You know, we had the best goals against record out of any team. That was really, really good. So, yeah, we're finally the England champions. Finally there. All right, let's move on to the National Cup. And I feel a sneeze coming along. Oh, good. So, the National Cup. So, we kicked off with a 2-0 win over Roxification in the round of 16. Then we went on to beat Brexit 4-1 in the quarterfinals. Excuse me. We beat Inspira 5-4 in the semi-finals, and we went on to lose to Hardcore 4-0. This is at this point where Hardcore just became an absolute tank. Like, seriously, they are, when it comes to an England team, I think they're pretty much unstoppable at this point now. So, we needed to win this league to at least have a chance against the next season. But as you can see here from their fans, they are a force to be reckoned with now. Look at those fans now. But we'll get into why that is. I mean, they took about 100 million fans off us throughout that entire season. So, you know, they were, you know, so they're going to be they're going to be so difficult to go up against next season. But yeah, Hardcore did win the England Cup. So they did win it. They also got top goal scorer. They've only got one player actually as a striker, I think. And they sold their other one. But yeah, so that was it was a shame. And you know, on an honest note, Hardcore can thank us for having so many fans now, because we'll get to the World Cup when we get to it. But let's say, spoiler alert, we fought them and lost again. So they got so many fans off us this season. So many fans. Anyway, so the European Cup is coming up now, and so that's 2 good performances. So did we do really good in the European Cup or the World Cup? We're about to find out. So, obviously I did qualify for the World Cup. I finished first in my group, only drawing 1 match, which was against LFC Crow. We did really well here. You know, this is a very good performance for us, and you know, fair play. I think we played really well. For some reason, though, look at all these teams now. There was a round of 32 in this season for the European Cup. You know, they're changing things a little bit and seeing how things go. But yeah, this is a bit of a shock, because now there's a round of 32 where you don't win Footbattle points for doing anything. You know, for getting knocked out there, which we got knocked out there. Gloria Bazao beat us. So after, you know, I mean, Gloria Bazao was a team that we beat a couple of seasons ago in the European Championships, and we got loads of fans from them, which was, I guess, is a revenge on their part. But the first match ended 3-3, the second match ended 1-1, and then RNG, pretty much. We got beat on penalties, which is annoying, but, you know, oh well. Obviously, Kirka went on to win it by beating Hardcore, which is good. Obviously, this is not going to be Kirka's only championship. That's obvious. They're Kirka. Best team in the game still. But let's go to the World Cup. So, yeah, World Cup, we did the best that we've ever done in a World Cup. So this time it's 7 teams. Top 2 go through from each group. And in our group, we did pretty bloody well. We lost 1 match. We drew 2. We won 9. Finishing on 29 points out of a possible 36. We did pretty well. The only loss we had was against Inter Miami CF. But then we went on to beat them in the return match. So that was nice. Anyway, first match that we had, we beat Valandia 5-1 in the round of 16. And then we beat FC Sloth in the quarterfinals 4-3, only to, again, lose to Hardcore. Hardcore at least did lose to Kirker, so, I mean, if they had beaten Kirker, that'd have been it. You know, England League is done. No chance of anyone being able to catch him. But Kirker wins another championship. But we got 2,500 Footbattle points for making it to the semi-finals of the World Cup. We made it, actually, to the semi-finals of the World Cup, so really good performance altogether, in my opinion. That was really good going. So, yeah, this is going to be the team that I'm going to be going in with next season. And hopefully, with any luck, it's going to be great. You know, it's going to be a great season for us with any luck. Like I said, we now have 8 legend players. Just 3 to go is all we need. And, you know, these 2 are going to be starting to be trained up. And everything. These 2 guys are already trained up, but these 2, I'm going to try and train them up as well as I can before the new season starts in about a week. And we're going to we're going to see how well we do. I can see this season our squad overall going above 1,600, which is pretty much the next milestone for us. I can easily see that happening because, well, you know, this guy's nearly there, this guy's not, but they're both pretty decent players. And hopefully, by the time the new season rolls around, I'll be very close to getting another legend player anyway. So, that would be really good for us to do. So, yeah, semi-finals in the World Cup, round of 32 in the European Cup, finalists in the England Cup, and winners of the England A-League. Yeah, it was a really, really good season for us. We only dropped 9 points throughout the entire season of the league, which is really good. When it comes to the leaderboard, we have dropped down to 5th, but that's fine. We'll move that up again at some point, and everything will be okay. Hardcore's moved right up to 2nd place. Kirker still number 1, but no one is surprised by that. So, predictions for next season. The league, 2nd, I think, because Hardcore are just too strong at this point. You know, they are incredible now at this point. As I said, I think it's going to take a little bit of time for us to be able to challenge Hardcore again. So I could see a 2nd place. Anything below 2nd, in my opinion, would be bad. But then again, you got teams like Frome, which are really good. The Reds had a really bad season this season. They finished 5th altogether, I believe, behind Inspira. And yeah, bit of a shame, really. The champions at that time of the England A-League finished down in 5th. But I could see a 2nd place, you know, behind Hardcore, who are probably going to win the league for the first time in 4 seasons. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. England Cup, I can see another finals. It would be great to win it. Again, it depends on where Hardcore is and who faces them. I mean, if we've got to go up against, like, Brexit and government and who else, you know, it's like the lower teams. Actually, Brexit isn't a lower team in the game. They're actually pretty alright. It's like the teams that finished, like, pretty low down the England A-League this season. If I get them and Hardcore has to go through, like, the Reds, Frome, and Inspira, that'd be awesome. That's probably not going to happen, though. We'll probably get Hardcore in the first round and lose. That won't surprise you one bit, because it's happened before. But yeah, another finals would be nice. Maybe to win it for a 3rd time would also be very nice. European Cup. So we know we can finish well in the World Cup. So the European Cup, it's got to be a quarter-final at least. Semi-finals at most. Maybe even a final. But, yeah, it's got to be at least a quarter-final in my opinion, or a semi-final. A semi-final would be nice, but, you know, quarter-final at the least. I'd say, for this team, once it's all powered up and trained up and everything like that. World Cup, I'd like to see a quarterfinal from us. We have proven that we're a team that can win trophies. I mean, we've got 3 trophies under our belt as it is, and we're looking to get more next season. So that would be really good if we do. But I'm just gonna have a look at my trophy just one more time. One more time. There it is. Yes, England A-League champions. It feels so good. It feels so good to finally have that happen. Yes, we have toppled the bloody games AI. I said we would do that last season, in the last season review, and we did. We toppled them good. It was a great moment for everyone involved. But yeah, guys, I hope for a great future of Masterath Town, and we're going to be building our fans up for next season, and hoping that the season's going to go really well. It's been, as I said, this season, best season we've had so far in Footbattle. It's been brilliant, and we're hoping to ride that momentum and that 47-game unbeaten run into next season, where it's going to be the toughest season for us because we're the reigning champions and hardcore is so good at the moment. So that's going to be very, very difficult to combat against. But not impossible for us to win back-to-back England A-Leagues, in my opinion. It's not impossible, but I'd say it's unlikely at this point. It'd be great if that would happen, but I guess we'll find out next season for Footbattle Season 7. And, we'll see how the stats look at the end of next season. We'll see if we've possibly lost less than 15 games. We'll see, because at the moment, it seems like our defense is our best thing. And with that left back, we've just powered it up even more. Anyway, guys, that's going to be the end of the review of Footbattle Season 6. I'm Masterath, and I'll see you for my next video in the future. I'll see you then.